Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 8 of Mondayish. And I'm so glad I put that in the stream title because part of me just panicked and went, what episode number are we? I'd forgotten about it, Dave. Did you remember what episode number it was?
Jim, do you think I remembered what episode? Do you think I pay attention? No, I rock up and I yap. I have offloaded as much of the mental load apart from talking to you in this. So no, I had no idea that it was episode 8. But hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 8 of Mondayish. Actually filming on a Monday,
I know.
Wow.
Because I was so wiped out after hockey on the weekend. I needed some extra time, so we couldn't do last night. But I hear you've because we were talking a bit about it last week in Super Mario Galaxy movie. I hear you've seen it now. So have you got some impressions?
Yeah, so we went and saw it on Saturday night, which was really quite nice. Had some family around in town and then went and saw Mario Galaxy. Was trying to think of the last film that I'd actually seen in the cinemas, which which may have actually been the last Mario movie. So, it was good. We had a good time. It goes quickly and all that kind of thing. It's very shallow. There's not a whole lot to it. There's a lot of references. There's a lot of me going, oh, look who that is. Oh, look, it's them. Look at that. Oh, over there. And all that kind of stuff. But that was mostly it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not as bad as reviews were saying, but like there wasn't a whole lot of substance to it. I would love to see a Mario movie done by like the Sony team or something, like the guys behind Into the Spider-Verse or something like that. But it was fun. I think that's the biggest thing from it. It was perfect for its target audience, which is kids and Nintendo fans. And honestly, I fit into one of those. Yeah, I hate Nintendo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's it. Why would you ever want a Nintendo product? Yeah. And look, and Jeppy, I think if you're like, that was my takeaway from it as well when I saw it the weekend before, was just like, if you like the first movie or if you're a Mario fan, you're probably going to like this one. And it was an interesting thing because I didn't hear about the reviews until you mentioned it at the last episode of Mondayish. And then I went and looked them up afterwards and I went, Jesus Christ, these guys are being savage. But reading them, you go, I mean, they're accurate, but they're savage, man. Like, I don't know what was going on with those.
I think it was, I don't want to call it lazy, but it was, the bare minimum of how can we make Nintendo fans point at the screen and go, oh my God, look, it's Yukiki. Yeah. Or, oh my God, it's Spike or things like that, which legitimately, I did that. That is how I responded to points. Or like, a song in the background that I lean over to Jeff and go, that's the boss music from this game, or things like that. It's like,
or the Mario Maker reference in there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm glad they made some of the changes. They got rid of all the licensed music. So you don't have like Take On Me anymore or things like that. You just use Mario music but remix, and that was so much better.
There was only that one licensed song they used, which was when the Yoshi strut through and that was it. Yeah. And I think that fit.
We'll avoid
Yeah.
We'll avoid spoilers, of course, because the movie is still in cinemas and all that kind of thing. There is one point where there is a very well done remix of One Up Girl from Mario Odyssey. And that was one that I was really like, that's cool. That was really cool when I sort of noticed that. But overall, like, look, I had fun with it. Is it a 5-star movie? No. Is it a 4-star movie? Maybe. It's definitely better than a 3-star movie. It's probably a 3.5 if we're honest.
Yeah.
4 stars because I like Nintendo and that kind of thing. But yeah, no, it was fun, and like you said, it was absolutely savaged by reviewers, which you wonder how fair that is.
I think so, and like I've often maintained that reviewers generally have guides that they will write to. So there'll be some editorial guidelines that they'll say, this is the basis on what we review stuff against. And enjoyment is quite often not a factor in that. Does it look good? Does it have, is it a coherent plot? Is there character development? Is there whatever? But generally when it comes down to it, enjoyment is not one of those factors, which really surprises me. I guess because enjoyment can be quite subjective, but even in video games, like I found um, that's rather odd because once again, it's enjoyment is subjective, and like somebody that might like a story driven game like The Last of Us may not like something like Hollow Knight, or or even a Mario platformer game where there generally is no story. Um,
Yeah, and I mean, you bring it around to Mario, you bring it around to games in general, and it is different as well because gaming and video games and that is not a and I'm going to use the terms passive and active again from last week, but I'm going to mean them differently. So get real confused if you watch both episodes in a row. Um, Gaming is an active way of taking in media. You know, it's not like a movie or a book where you have no control or no say in it. In video gaming, you control it. So, you know, if you're like, I've just spent the weekend playing Spider-Man 2. You can beat Spider-Man 2 story in couple of hours, probably, I reckon. It's 31 main missions. I reckon each mission takes 5 minutes. Call it
hmm,
call it 2.5 hours. Um, if you did that, you are not experiencing the game, you know? Um, but at the same time, if you've got a reviewer that doesn't care about side missions or collecting and things like that and just mainlines through it, they're gonna have a very different view of it compared to just like someone that really dives into it. And part of the issue is that for certain outlets, they've got like one or two reviewers and they've got like 20 games to review. So
hmm.
they've only get a certain amount of time to play them.
Yeah, that's right. And I should probably disclose this as well, but I have written for a couple of independent websites over the last kind of 5 years. And the second one was just kind of a bunch of friends still keeping our toe in the water doing stuff. And that was fun enough, but there wasn't any real drive behind that. That was kind of do reviews as they come up. But the
Mm.
um the first place I started writing for, they were really trying to make something of themselves, and they had an editor, so you had some guidelines, you had some direction on what they wanted in terms of reviews. And it's interesting looking at things from the point of view of scores as well, because the editor that I had at Game on Oz, that's where I did most of my writing, hated scored reviews because games are more than just that score at the end. And I firmly agree with him on that. Like, if you look at a
Yeah.
game and go, "Oh, it got 70s," or "That's a bit of a meh game," well, that doesn't describe the game to you. It doesn't describe what it is or how it does what it does. And that's why I also think it's important to not just take that score. Like, you've got to be able to extrapolate from that and at least have like a TLDR section that gives the
Mm.
highlights and lowlights of the game, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Definitely spoken like someone that is coming last in our fantasy critic at the moment. But, you know, you
I
can't score games, man. Like,
no, it's 100%. No, games should not be scored. Definitely not. I still
close the run,
maintain.
dude.
All right.
Contest over.
All right, right. Like, I still maintain that I had that game that had an aggregate score of 69. That should have got bonus points, man.
I mean, you've just gone further now, though, and had an aggregate game with a 59 now.
Yeah,
So,
we're
you know,
not we're not
I'm
talking
really
about
worried
that.
about what the future of your score looks like, man.
Well,
Um,
hopefully it's still going good, because the next game I got coming up is the mouse detective one, that looks like
I
a film noir Mickey Mouse type thing, and it looks really cool. And
It's
I've
a boomer shooter. Like, it looks
yeah,
cool.
and
I am very interested because I could see that reviewing really poorly.
yeah, and that's the thing with indie game. Like, I saw it not PAX gone, but the PAX before, and it didn't have a playable demo then. And to go
Mm.
from not having a playable demo to release in 18 months, that's that's a little
Yeah,
concerning for
it's
me.
impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, so
But
hopefully it's gonna do all right.
no,
Yeah.
well, that's it. You've got that. I've got Saros coming up, which I think is going to be one of the highest scoring games of the year. So,
Well, I
you know,
mean,
it swings and roundabouts.
yeah. I mean, you wouldn't have picked it if you didn't think it was gonna be good, Dave.
But come on, the follow up to Returnal, it's going to be awesome. I'm very excited for that. It feels like the way they've talked about it, it's going to be all the stuff that I um didn't like about Returnal. Well, and like I loved Returnal, but the things that I found a bit annoying, sound like they're gone. Like, it sounds like they've taken it from about a 2-hour run to about a half-hour run, which to me, that's just much better if I'm gonna play a roguelike. I don't wanna lose 2 hours. Um, but no, I'm excited. But it's an interesting thing with reviews, Jim, because it's something that, not everyone will have seen before, but you would have seen it as a review writer. I get review codes and that for streams from indie games, from other companies, all that kind of stuff. A lot of time when you get an early access game, you get what's called a review guide, chat. So the review guide is basically a rundown of, when's the game coming out? What can you show? What can you not show? Who's the game by? Here's the specs you need. If you're getting an early access thing, it will be things like you need to stop at this point. So, I've had games before which is like, you can play up to the end of this mission. Once you hit that mission, stop, or things like that. But it also has something which I think is a bit different, which a lot of the time it's like FAQs or points. It's like, hey, when you get to this point, you should do this, or you need to do this, or things like that. Or when you're playing live at a convention, you'll have the developer behind you going, oh yeah, no, jump up there and that kind of thing. And it can be really odd for the developer because they send out this early access and they think, oh, no one had any issues with that. Everyone understood. It's like, because you were telling them directly or you're putting it in writing. And suddenly the game comes out and they get blindsided by reviews that go, this was really confusing. Or, even worse, it comes out to the public and everyone goes, this is really not fun. Like, you had all your mates telling you that this was the best game ever because you were playing with them and explaining it and all that kind of stuff.
So that's the thing I love about yellow ledgers in games. It's one of the most hated video game design concepts of, we've got to show the player which ledgers you can grab so they're a slightly different color, or they're a very distinctive color so that you know how to get to them. But you know what? Those things wouldn't exist if you didn't get lost in games.
No, 100%. You can even go back to the infamous Cuphead reviewer video, which I'm sure most people have seen, which is a guy complaining about Cuphead being too difficult and all that. And the video is him failing the tutorial, not being able to read the screen that said, to do this, double jump here. And he was just running backwards and forwards, jumping backwards and forwards, and like just couldn't figure it out. And it was like, it was written bigger than Mondayish is on this screen up here. Like, it was completely covering the screen, just being like, double tap to do this. And he just couldn't figure it out. And it's just like, if you assume the average gamer is dumb, then remember that people are dumber than that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, if you can't pass a tutorial when the instructions are literally written on the screen, then what are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm sure we have all watched streams, and I'm not going to name any names here because they're definitely not on screen at the moment, where they go, I don't need the tutorial, skip, and then go, I can't figure this out. I have made a mistake.
I find because there's that fine line between teaching you things that you need to know and the really dumbing it down and teaching you all the things that a video game ever has gotten you to do. Like, I always have a laugh at the start of the first Halo game, which in fairness, like, that was 3D shooters in their early days. So it probably needed that a little bit, but like the opening where the I forget what it's called. I think it's a sarcophagus. I think it's called, in that opens and you come out as Master Chief in there. And the first thing is, let's have a look at how we're going to do this particular bit. So we're just going to do a systems check. Can you look left? Press this button to look left. Look right. Press this button to look right. And it's just like, I have played a game before. I generally know how to look around.
So they have to run on the assumption it's your first game ever, which it's unfortunate, but there is that. It's the same as like the intros to Pokemon games have to explain Pokemon to you. And if you've played a Pokemon game before, that is long. It's slow. You can't go anywhere. You run into invisible walls all the time because you try to go off and do something interesting. And he goes, no, come back here. We're going to teach you about this. But the flip side, to go to Pokemon Champions, which just came out, Mega Meganium has an ability. Now, abilities are a thing that a Pokemon has. Mega Meganium has an ability that makes it so that it behaves as if it's bright sunlight, even when bright sunlight is not present. Right? That means that Solar Beam is no longer a 2-turn move, it's a 1-turn move.
Oh.
Champions does not explain any of that, but that is fairly important for competitive. So there's that whole mix of like the mix of, we're going to explain the basics, but there's no way to explain that I can think of. I just know that from having played lots of Pokemon that's how Bright Sunshine
Yeah, I
works
I feel
and
like
all
that
that.
there are some things that you need that for, and some things that you don't need that for. And it's you could probably use like Minecraft and those sort of crafting games like the Terrarias and things like that. They're kind of their own little thing where you learn on the fly and see, let's try this, or you give up and look up a wiki. But that's kind of expected in those games. And I feel like even I'm trying to remember. Oh, okay. I'm going to use Super Mario World
Mm,
as an example because I played that game to death as a kid. I knew because it said in the manual that there were 96 exits in the game,
yep.
and I had all but one or two. So I'm going through and trying to find all the exits, and eventually I've worked out that I can fly underneath the gold tapes and get to another gold tape. But
Hmm.
the game doesn't tell you that anywhere. Another thing as well, the snake coin blocks. You hit them and the coins come out and they move in various directions. I never worked out as a kid that you can control them.
Oh, can you? I
Yeah,
thought that was just a Kaizo mechanic. I didn't
no, no,
realize you
no,
could
no.
control
Those are in the vanilla game, and it's
Interesting.
actually expected as a way to get through. The fifth star world map where the
Not off the top of my head, but
uh
yes.
but yeah, but that's it's an expected mechanic that you're supposed to know. So you hit it, and then the coins go off because you control them with the D-pad.
Yeah.
So you can make them go up, you can go right, you can go left, you can go down, and yeah. So you're supposed to make them go to the right, and then jump on a P switch to make them solid. But the game doesn't explain that. I didn't know
No,
that for
absolutely.
20 odd years of playing that game
No.
until I saw it in Kaizo Mario stuff. You know?
No, and that's exactly, but I mean, that is Nintendo, Super Nintendo, period. You know what I mean? Like, that was back when games were hard on purpose, but also just like they didn't really hold anyone's hands.
No.
Um,
I,
they were still coming off the fact where you had a limited number of lives.
mm,
If you brought out a Mario now where you could run out of lives, people would be very annoyed. Yes, I know the 2D ones still do that a bit, but like still, it is just an annoying thing.
yeah.
Um,
I
but
also
I
like as well,
suppose,
just on that like 3D Mario and 2D Mario are canonically different because 2D
mm,
Mario can breathe underwater, but 3D Mario can't.
yeah, absolutely.
I always found that
Uh,
like it's definitely a
can they
design
can
choice they
they
went
in new
with.
3D? Can they do it in Super Mario, New Super Mario Brothers, or whichever one? You know, the ones that were on the DS and stuff. I thought that had a breath meter, but I might be getting
I
mixed up.
can't remember, and
I need to look at
I
that. But just
don't even remember going underneath the water in Odyssey either. I don't think there was oh no, there was the yeah, the Fish Kingdom and the Beach Kingdom thing. Yeah, and you
yeah.
ran out of breath in those. So
Hmm.
yeah, but I'm pretty in Wonder. You've got entire underwater levels, and Mario could
Yes,
just breathe through that.
absolutely.
So yeah, just sorry, interesting little tidbit there.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. But it's also one of those things like how much is taught by the game, how much you just learn by. So, we'll go back to Super Mario World because it's a game that we both played a lot. Red exits versus yellow exits. So a yellow level, if a level is yellow, chat, for those of you not familiar, it means there's only one elite exit. You can only go from one exit on that get level. Red means there's more than one. Surely that's explained somewhere, but I couldn't tell you where.
I'm pretty sure that was explained in the
Like,
manual.
but
Back
surely
in the
it's
day
in
when
the
you
game.
read the manual. No, I don't know. Well, because there's not a lot of that sort of explanation in the game. Hang on, I'm gotta look up the manual then. But yeah, I'm
It's
pretty sure
yeah.
um it was explained in the manual. Just
But see,
like
that's what I miss is the manuals and that. It's
yeah,
why I thought Tunic was really cute. I'm not sure if you played Tunic.
yeah, I
It's
have.
a
I
sort of
got up to the end
Fox
boss, but I didn't
character.
finish it. Yeah.
Yeah. Fox character, love letter to the old sort of Zelda's isometrics, all that kind of thing. It's a really cute game. It's got the manual in the game, so you can still flip through and all that kind of stuff. And it does matter. Like, I'm not going to get into spoilers why it matters and all that kind of thing. But like the manual is in the game, and we need more of that. Or things like games with built-in wikis. which I know that why they don't, because that's a ton of work. But like Stardew Valley, does anyone play Stardew Valley without the Wikipedia on the other page? Like, there is so much going on that you're just like, I need to look up, I need this fish. Cool. Where do I get that fish? What weather does that fish need? What time is that fish around? All this kind of stuff. Even when you catch it, it doesn't record it. Like,
Yeah.
it gets even more into it when you start talking about games like Rune Factory, which have things like fertilizer values and moisture levels of your soil, which you're meant to just understand how it all works. Like, it never explains any of that to you.
Yeah. 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 It's,
You can tell this is something I've dealt with before.
yeah. Well, and there's games like that. Like we mentioned Minecraft earlier in Terraria. Like those are games that if you want to get a particular thing, you almost have to have the wiki open. But Tunic, like it was just such an exploration game. Like it was very much the Metroidvania style adventure game that the first Zelda was, where you were just looking around, searching, and eventually you go, oh, I've got this now. I can go down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I'm a massive fan of games that you don't realize what the full game is when you start it. And Tunic, without getting into spoilers, is one of those games that you will have moments where you go, oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Like, it just recontextualizes everything.
Yeah.
And
particularly like this
side of the coin, because it explains nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I did bring up the Super Mario World manual, and it does say at one point, like he's explaining keyholes, and it does say, from Donut Plane onwards, many course points are read at these courses. At these course points are hidden different goals with keyholes and stuff like that.
I love that they're called course points. I've never called them course points.
Nah, me either. Yeah.
Saying it, but only in the Game Boy Advance version. That is, at least they learnt their lesson.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just interesting. And like back in the days when at the back they had a spot for notes. Yeah. What did I just? Oh, because like one of I've always heard people call the blue Yoshi the purple Yoshi. Like I've heard, not a lot, but I have heard people call him the purple Yoshi, because he does kind of look a bit purple, but he's always been blue Yoshi to me. And I've just going through the manual. It actually says that it's a blue Yoshi. So like I'm going, all you purple Yoshi people, they're blue Yoshis. Go get it right.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever heard someone call it a purple Yoshi, but I'll go with you on that one.
Yeah. But anyway, I
think it's probably what our topic for the day is been, and we haven't really introduced it, but like, do games handhold too much now? Are games too easy now, too hard? Like, there are still games that are intentionally hard, but they're intentionally hard but fair, or are they too hard? That kind of thing. And I'm sure chat has views about that kind of thing. But there is something so rewarding about a game that doesn't explain everything to you and that you unlock it as you go. Have you played The Witness?
No.
The Witness is phenomenal. I'm not going to say anything else about it. The Witness is an awesome, awesome puzzle game. Chat, if you like indie puzzle games if you liked Myst back in the day, check out The Witness. The Witness is a really cool game.
And I think on the topic of are games too much this, I think that there are that many games out there that it doesn't matter if a game is too hard or too easy or too open-ended or too linear for you. Who cares if they are? Like, find a game that you like and play it. Like, I've got time for all those sorts of different games, and in the right mood for stuff, I will love all of them. Like, it took me forever to get onto Hollow Knight, and I adored that game. Like the Metroidvania stuff in it, the combat as well. I will say, with the way people were saying how hard it was, I was expecting it to be a little harder. Not saying that it's not hard. I was just expecting it to be harder. All right.
Look at that coming out. The humble brag.
Yeah.
Really.
But at the same time, sorry, go on.
The difference, I think, as well, is though that back in the day, if I got a game that was too hard, I wasn't getting another game for 6 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I had to push through. And I would learn and all that kind of stuff. Talking about things that doesn't explain to you, all that kind of stuff. Mario World was one that my mum and I played together when I was a wee lad, when I was very little. We got stuck at one point. She rang the Nintendo helpline. Like, there wasn't the internet to look it up. We had to ring a phone line and go, we're having issues with Mario World. And they explained to mum how to get past the bit that we're up to. But it's like, it's a very different world now where games, where you can just Google, I'm stuck at this, help, which has made it a lot better, because if you're stuck, you can usually find the answers and that kind of thing.
Unless the
I just feel
answer
like
is
sometimes-
just get good.
Look, sometimes that is the answer. Sometimes the answer is no. You're right that it's hard. Power up, get
Yeah.
through. But
Yeah.
it's one that I do think sometimes games are a little bit too handholdy at the start, especially when it's like the 10th game in the series. Like the next Assassin's Creed will come out and will explain to me sneaking, hiding, assassinating, climbing, all that kind of stuff. It's like, give me the option. Just let me say, yeah, no, I'm good. I know it. Let's just jump through the story pretty quickly and get me to the point where it opens up so I can run around and get distracted.
But then you're going to get to a point where they bring in a new mechanic and all of a sudden you don't know about that.
I stand by the fact, if I have said, no, I'm good, that's on me at that point to figure out.
And I think that's probably another point as well, is like tutorials for games. Like you kind of need to build them in an interesting way, and not just like every FPS shooter that says, hey, let's do a weapons check and do, go and shoot some stuff and swap weapons and run and slide.
It's like, and I don't remember if it did it well, but it's something like Titanfall 2, which has the gun range at the start where you have to run through the obstacle course, do the gun range and all that. That should let them go, cool, this person got this time and did this. They don't need a tutorial. Move on. Someone got stuck in there. Cool, we're going to walk you through it. It's that kind of thing. Like, there is a bit of a... more tutorials should be optional.
Yeah, that sounds
really
like a good one to me, though. So, like, they say, particularly for shooter games, because shooter games, you shoot stuff. And if they put you through something like a gunnery range and you go, all right, go through here, kill these, don't kill these. And at the end, if you pass or fail it, if you pass, you don't have to do the tutorial, or it might be a condensed tutorial where it just tells you some new stuff. Or if you fail it, then you go through the full thing. So I think, got the hiccup, sorry. But yeah, that kind of feels like a fair amalgamate, compromise. That's the word I'm looking for. Compromise.
No, exactly.
The new players can be looked after, and the old hands can go, yep, cool, let's go shoot stuff.
Well, that's it. Now, I'm just thinking, and it might be because I've only sort of played and watched modified versions of it lately. Mario Odyssey doesn't have much of a tutorial, hey? Like, it sort of tells you, this is how you run, this is how you throw the cap. Here's a manual in the settings if you want to look up how to do moves and things.
The Cap Kingdom...
it definitely doesn't explain, like...
The Cap Kingdom gives you the basics, but it teaches you in other ways. Like, I remember learning how to jump off the cap by watching, there were those Cooper races that you did. And I was trying to work out how these guys were so quick, and they did that sort of stuff. And I went, oh, I can do that now. So it teaches you in different ways. It teaches the basics really quickly in that Cap Kingdom. Like the first straight up, it says, this is how you roll. Then when you get Cappy, and you go into that other area, it tells you throw this. Actually, no, even before that, it says throw your hat at the switch to activate the switch and stuff like that. So it teaches you the basics very quickly, and then lets you discover stuff about, like, particularly about capturing things.
Exactly, and that's I think the perfect world. Like, it doesn't lock you in. It doesn't go, here's a video or here's someone slowly going to talk to you. It just pops at the bottom of your screen and just goes, to run, use the stick and all that. And like I said, it's got a built-in manual as well. So if you really get stuck, you can hit start and you go into the manual and go, show me this kind of stuff. And I've liked games with that as well. Like, cool, you've unlocked you've unlocked all these abilities. If you go in and hover over the ability, you can hit triangle, for instance. and it'll take you to a simulation and show you how it works.
Yeah.
Otherwise, go for it. Figure it out.
Mhm. Yeah,
But yeah,
and I think as well, Mario Galaxy is one of those um, kind of perfect sort of games where it's got kind of
Galaxy
three.
or Odyssey?
Odyssey, sorry, Odyssey. Well, Galaxy's good as well, but Odyssey I think was kind of that peak Mario game where to just finish the game reasonably easy. After that, it unlocks all those extra bonus moons, and that gets progressively harder. If you want to do more than that, if you want to get all the moons, then that is ridiculously hard. And it just there's just that progression of going through. And like you say, there aren't lives in there, but there's punishment every time you die by losing coins, which also
Yeah, man.
doesn't super matter either once you get to a certain point.
No, exactly. Like the coins aren't that important. But yeah, I think we sort of come around the circle a few times. But yeah, I think that's my perfect is have it available for people that want it, but let me go. Like Pokemon Wind Waves, perfect world. They're going to go, hey, good morning. Pick your first Pokemon. I'm going to grab that little fluffy fire dog thing. I'm going to hold him and we're going to go, hey, do you want to learn about catching Pokemon? I'm going to go, no, I do not. And I'm going to go on my way. Perfect.
Yep.
What's actually going to happen is it's going to take me 3 hours to get to the point where I get a Pokeball. And I already know it, but
yeah,
we can be ready for the future.
I feel like we've been talking about games like Super Mario World and Super Mario Odyssey as really good examples of not hand holding. But my God, does Nintendo like to hand hold?
Oh, yeah. But that's their audience. Their audience is more likely to be the first time gaming person, I think. If you think about it, if someone asks you, hey, my kids want to start video gaming, what game do I give them? If it's not Roblox or Fortnite or something like that, you go, give them a Nintendo.
Yeah.
Give him like Mario Maker or Mario Kart, all those kind of ones. Mario Kart doesn't explain shit. Mario Kart just goes, go on, you're in a cart and you must kill.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Crush, kill, destroy in Mario Kart.
No, that's it.
But yeah, look, I think that's probably about us for tonight. You've reached the end of the tutorial section of Mondayish. I hope you've all enjoyed the show tonight, or wherever you're listening to it or watching it. You'll definitely be going up on YouTube, and we've started putting it out on Spotify and a couple of other platforms there, so you can keep an eye out for it there. But if you'd like to watch us live, we do this anywhere at the moment from Saturday through to Monday. It could be any of that. I think, have we done it on a Tuesday yet, Dave?
No, not yet. Not yet, but give us time. Absolutely. And yeah, absolutely. That was a real smooth segue, man. I liked it.
I'm good. I'm good at those segues. I've actually written segues before. Have you been on a segue?
I have. It feels really weird.
It does.
Also, we're definitely getting very distracted. Yeah, you're trying to wrap up.
That's it. I just segued out of my segue. But thank you all, everybody, for listening or watching. If you would like to see us live, you can follow myself, twitch.tv/straightjacketjim. Dave, where can they find you?
Yeah, guys, you can find me over at twitch.tv/Desane or at YouTube/@Desane. Basically where I hang out playing. Lately, it's been a lot of random indie games. We've got Return to the Obra Dinn for next weekend, which I'm very excited for. But
nice.
Yeah, Jim, as always, thank you so much for hanging out. I've had a good time ranting while you try to keep me on topic.
No worries. Thanks for joining us, Dave. And thank you, chat. We will see you on the next episode of Mondayish.